Live from Studio 6B in the Fimple Jamont Recreational Center for the Fashionably Exasperated, it's Pran Funkels Live. And now, join us for lots of prank phone calls.
Pran Funkels
Live.
Here lately, it's somebody different every week saying live.
Hi everybody.
And there's a certain backwards speaking individual on the show tonight.
Yeah, I just like to talk backwards. Sometimes. Sometimes I do that too. I just like to walk, talk backwards. Sometimes I wake up people. Yeah. When I talk backwards. Sometimes I scare the shit out of people. I'm not sure which is scarier when I'm trying to be. If you feel, it's just recording an error. If you feel.
Yeah, that sounds like it. We should play that song. Although that should maybe be reserved for anniversary episodes. That song, they're the thing I made with just samples of operator recordings. Well, I say samples, but it was recordings on cassette tape, expertly dubbed in a manner, and then laid over a track of a song on a keyboard. A very automated song that I played. Patrick's on the show.
Hi, it's been a real long time, hasn't it?
How long's it been?
Long enough that my voice changed a little bit. Do I sound like I sound a little different? I think maybe.
Has it been a while?
It's been a while. Mm-hmm.
I was trying to say I don't know what's worse or louder, me trying to talk backwards quietly or me trying to talk backwards loudly, because I think if I just tried to do it loud and in order to do it properly I'd have to be like really loud.
Yeah.
Or maybe my as you get older your vocal cords get older too.
Yeah, they change.
Like for example, when you hear who does Fred on Scooby-Doo? Is it Donald?
Don Messick, I think. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
no, I don't know.
I think so. I think he does Scooby and Fred. He does Scooby, right?
Yeah, I don't know. That same guy did. Yeah,
a ton of voices,
yes.
And he's still around and still does that. So if you see like newer.
He's got to be like 80 or something.
He's close to 80 if he's not 80.
Yeah.
But, so I've been watching some of that shit in the background because, of having a kid and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's pretty interesting because you see like newer ones and Fred sounds like he's 70 years old,
Yeah. Well,
and Scooby sounds about the same, but.
I remember that guy did, I think it's Don Messick, but he did a voice on Family Guy once, like one of the early seasons of Family Guy, where just hear him for a second. He's this guy that parachutes out of a plane or something. When he lands, he just says, "Well, I've never heard of such a thing," or something. He says something like that, and he's doing like kind of the old man voice, and he sounds like an old man. And that was like in 1999, so that was 23 years ago. So he was probably 50 years old then. So.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because of Seth MacFarlane being a former employee of Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at the chat here. Don Long says, it's our favorite Pat. Thanks so much, guys.
Yeah,
He says 3 cheers for Patrick's triumphant return to Pran Funkels. I'm just visiting now. I'm just visiting. Like that on the Monopoly board.
Is that what it was? Just visiting. Just visiting jail.
Just a conjugal visit.
Exactly what I was going to say. Just a conjugal visit between two
between two creeps. Yeah.
Two law-breaking individuals, one of whom has been caught, and one who hasn't.
Yeah. And I gotta say, that guy whose face is behind the bars, not too attractive. I don't know if I'd be into that. On the board, on the Monopoly board.
Yeah.
Yeah, surprising revelation. I wouldn't fuck the guy in jail on the Monopoly board.
So I was about to make a monocle reference, but then I remembered that Mandela effect thing where apparently the Monopoly guy never had a monocle.
Okay. I think he might have on one of the community chest. There's one where he does.
Don't go debunking my conspiracy theory, god damn it.
It's on one of the cards. It's one of the cards where it says, "Whoopee, you're rich. You got $45 or whatever," which was a lot of money when the game came out.
Yeah, so that's one of those that I've heard that people think that he had a monocle, but he never. But what you're saying is he did.
He did just on one of the what was community chest and what was the other set of cards you could get?
I think it was community
orange cards. There was community chest were yellow, and then orange was the
community tits, I believe.
Yeah, didn't hear anything about the tits.
It was chance.
Chance, right? Yeah, it was chance and community chest, and like on one of them, one of the ones where you get money, he does have that. And I think the reason why you think he has a monocle is because, like, McDonald's always used that one, the rich Monopoly guy with the monocle.
Oh yeah.
I think so. We saw him a lot, or you see him a lot in advertisements. You see that version of the Monopoly guy, I
remember commercials in the mid-90s because you might remember this, but I got way into collecting those Monopoly game pieces and eating McDonald's for lunch every day.
Yeah.
And I was in high school, and I would this guy had a 2-seater, probably a Mazda truck or something. Me and a certain individual, his mom had 2 computers. We would jump in the back of his truck, and he was aware of it, but
yeah.
But he would go to either McDonald's or Taco Bell almost every single day, but mostly McDonald's. So we would all just, well, you remember those days, the off-campus lunch, and you'd go into you were in high school, and you'd go in with your friends to a fast food place for lunch, and it just seemed like the coolest fucking thing in the world.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're a young teenager experiencing freedom.
Yeah, and you
go
knew
wherever
somebody.
Your parents aren't taking you somewhere to eat. You're good. Yeah. You're just you decided to go there, and you went there, and you ate what you wanted to eat, and you paid for it with the money that your parents gave you.
Yeah, either your parents gave you, or the job you had that paid almost nothing.
Yes,
paid the minimum wage, which has not been raised since then. Since we're.
So I guess here for the comments is looking into it. It says Pennybags has the monocle on the chance community chest cards. Let's see. I'm not saying all of them, but there's.
Is his name Pennybags? Because I was about to say.
I thought it was Moneybags.
That's what I was going to. Well, I remember McDonald's commercials, I think on the radio, and they would say it was like a guy that was the voice was supposed to be him, and it was probably Donald Messick.
Yeah.
But he said, "Rich Uncle Moneybags here."
Yeah. Yeah, but there's at least one, and I think I'm pretty sure it's one image where you're getting paid. So he's supposed to look rich, and he has the top hat, which he may already have a top hat. Usually, I don't know, or the top hat may be like that too. Maybe the top hat's only in the ones where you're getting paid or something. But he has a top hat and the monocle and the little walking stick and stuff, and he's got a suit on. I think in the rich where you're getting paid, the image where you're getting paid.
Yeah, so that's one of the more interesting Mandela effect things that I've heard, but I was very sure that he
had it always.
Well, the way it was told to me is he never had it. So you're debunking it right now.
Yeah, no, he definitely. Yeah, I can see it. I have a photographic memory. But I was just what made me think of something random. The card, a card that says the bank made a mistake in your favor. So that card, right?
Well, that's where Monopoly became a little bit too far fetched.
Well, yeah,
because bank doesn't do that, except one time. I'll tell that story in a minute.
I was just gonna say, does that mean that it just makes me wonder? Was there ever something like you hear about every once in a while, like there was $3 million accidentally put in this account that was supposed to be 30,000, and then the person just like withdrew it and
they went and spent it, and then
couldn't but in Monopoly it says that you get to keep it if the bank makes a mistake. By Monopoly rules, I'm not arrested, officer. I'm not under arrest.
Well, I think when that actually did happen, the person responded with the classic. What's the word I'm thinking of? The defense that's the impenetrable, which is known as, Your Honor, no.
Yes. Yeah, Your Honor, I'd like to point out to the
jury
that my client's answer of no, it started low, it went slowly higher in pitch until it was at a certain, I believe it was at an F sharp, and that's the correct answer, I believe. That should absolve him of any wrongdoing. So.
Yeah, this guy that I'm quoting, who's we used to refer to as Moja number 2, that I've been talking about a lot lately on the show, but that was like his argument when he had lost the argument but wasn't going to concede. And it was pretty much the same thing as a certain individual's podcast whom I listen to has a thing about yeah but still, which is what
still
which is what people say when you've
completely
you've proven them wrong, but they're not going to admit it, and that's just like their argument back that gets you to shut up. No.
Lots of Gary Busey Burger King's here, which he was in the classic Game Night Friday chat last night. I don't know if he was there for the show. He was there at the very beginning, right before the show started. But yeah, guys, if you're listening and somehow you don't know that I'm gonna
forgotten to give you plugs in the last episode or two.
You fucking asshole. What is it? How does it? Ozzy Osbourne in the Jerky Boys movie. You fucking asshole. He says it very. Yeah, let's just put it this way. He says it kind of the way Rob Schneider says shit. And
necessary roughness.
It's a little bit. You watch it and you go, was that the best take? Is that the best take they had? Of him going, shit.
Slide, move it around. All right, come on, up here. Let's go.
Gonna pot.
Excuse me. Who are you guys? Where's Bob and BJ?
I guess they probably found a better gig. They split.
What do you mean they got a better gig? They're like family.
They're in a jet now over Japan. We heard they got a gig with the monkeys.
The fucking monkeys? You're kidding me.
Hey, it's a tough business. Don't worry about nothing. Me and Jocko here, we've been wiring up shit for years. We'll wire up a toilet seat. It'll suck the pants off you. We're the best.
You better be the best, because tonight's a big show, and my boys better look good, okay? Fucking monkeys?
It's one of the most memorable scenes from
the fucking monkey. And then there's a part later where something happens. I can't even remember what happens. They run into him or something crazy happens, and he says, "You fucking asshole, asshole."
That makes me think he was a fan of them. Otherwise, why would he appear in that movie?
Yeah, we played.
And also watching that, I'm thinking, man, look how young Ozzy looks.
Yeah.
He doesn't look particularly young, but just compared to now.
Yeah, well, I mean, that movie was like 95, 94. So he was, what would he have been, 46 or something? Like, seriously, yeah.
That's
How
kind of
long?
like, yeah, it's kind of like about the age that Archie Bunker was at the
Yeah.
end of All in the
And-
Family, probably, or Wilford and The Thing was like 43 or something. Anyway,
yeah, he was, what would he have been in that? He was born 1934. Yeah, he was like 48 or something, right? Yeah, he's
Ozzy,
1934. No, Wilford and the Thing.
he was how old?
He was like 47, 48 when they filmed that.
Yeah.
48. 48 if
Wow.
they filmed it in 82. But in post March of 82, he would have been 48. So,
Okay.
Of course, we all know in Cocoon, he was just like barely 50. So 50, 51.
Yeah, there's
I look old as shit.
they actually did makeup on him and gave him liver spots and stuff, so that
Did they really?
that's yeah. Well, I read that on the internet, so it must be true.
Okay.
I think Ron Howard, who, speaking of facts on the internet,
Yeah.
Ron Howard, who never directed a movie called Cotton Candy,
Oh,
made
but
that decision to put liver spots on Wilford's.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love Cotton Candy. Ron Howard's Cotton Candy. There's nothing to be ashamed of. 24-year-old Ron Howard
I just want to
made
put his
it-
cotton candy in my
made a rock and-
mouth.
made a rock and roll movie with Charles Martin Smith and his brother Clint Howard.
Yeah.
Rance Howard's in it. His dad. Who else is in it? But anyway, it's just
I believe
it's corny. Yes, it's
Bryce
corny, but it's like
Dallas.
TV corny 70s, and it's great. It's a good story.
I
Yeah,
think Bryce Dallas Howard's in it as
as think-
sperm.
yeah, I was going to say she's credited as in the director's balls.
Which just reminds me of something from a year ago, almost to the date, but not quite. And if Mike were here, he could play a clip of me saying feet eat. But when I saw Mr. Philip J. Collins with Genesis,
Mm-hmm. Like a year ago, right? Yeah.
yeah, it was almost to the date a year ago. Doesn't seem like that long ago, but
Well, these days,
yeah. But
us and Steely Dan we're doing something.
yeah, they're gathering up the cheese.
Yeah.
They've had enough of my cheese. But Phil Collins, of course, his son was playing drums, and he made some comment about. Yeah, I wish I could remember the exact wording, but yeah, this drummer. He said something like, "This drummer here has been hanging around for a while."
Yeah.
He's just been hanging around, and he like gestured at his balls.
That's pretty good. I like it.
It's the Phil Collins humor that you
Phil
can
Collins.
expect.
I never. I can't believe Phil Collins make a dirty joke like that.
And speaking of which, I think I mentioned this a year ago, but
Yeah.
once again, when they did Invisible Touch,
Invisible touch.
much like the live version that gets played on light rock stations, or at least maybe it's on
Yeah.
Spotify or Pandora, but has the line about she will fuck up your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this, like, they're probably the official version says mess up, I think, but like the live version says fuck up, and he says it like really loud, like that's the appropriate lyric.
Right.
And then he did that live when we saw him a year ago also.
Ah.
Unless I imagined that, but I don't think I did.
So, do you think there's a recorded version where he says "fuck up"?
It's the official live version. I've heard it. Like, I've been sitting probably 2 or 3 times in a dentist chair. It's like the official release of the live version. He says it. And it's just like, teacher ladies don't notice it because they don't pay attention to lyrics, because that's what people who are possibly not the most intelligent creatures on this planet do, is not notice what the words are that are being pumped into their heads.
Can you hear this coming through?
Yes.
Okay. I just didn't know how clear it is on my end. Sometimes it's kind of garbled. So where's the fuck up your life part? How far into the song is it? Towards the end?
No, it's probably like a minute in or something.
Are we gonna get taken down for this? But it's part of a verse here. It's not a chorus, so it's got to be coming up here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's probably in this verse somewhere. Let's listen for the Phil Collins just say fuck.
Is this live version?
Nope.
It's not in this one.
It's not in this one. Yeah. So you think it's on another one?
Yeah.
Skip forward here.
Intestines whole.
This part here.
This is the best part. This is when Tony Banks takes over.
Yeah. Okay.
And by the way, having seen them one short year ago, Mike Rutherford definitely looks a lot like Jamie or James Cromwell these days.
Oh yeah. Starting to look like that. Starting to look like that puppet.
Oh, there it was.
Did it say mess up?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Okay, so there's probably not a recorded version where he says fuck, right?
Yeah, the official live version. That's
the official live version. You said official. Okay.
You might not have been paying attention.
Well, I see. Well, I saw official. This says official audio, so I just thought like, okay, that must be it. Okay, well, we don't have to. We don't. I don't have to.
Now we do.
Okay.
Did you see that on there anywhere?
Let's
Probably
see.
on their channel. They have a YouTube. Not that I know anything about Genesis. I'm not a nerd.
Let's see. And it's like a studio live version, not studio, but
it's a live
album.
Yeah,
like a live album. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. This would be it right here.
And do you remember the time stamp for when the mess up was?
Oh, wow! Listen, go easier on the voice. Tune down.
This must be a more recent live version.
There it is. Okay.
See, I'm not making shit up.
He's a naughty, naughty boy, Phil Collins.
Phil the Shill.
Like how much? That's way lower. That's like a step and a half lower or something.
What's the account that posted it? I wonder if they slowed it.
It is their account.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a lot of bands are known to do that just to make it easier on the vocalist.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Yeah, I guess it would just be vocal. I don't know why else. I want to make it easier on my instrument to play lower. But I don't know. Well,
do you have this?
Anyway,
I have a memory of us watching a Paul McCartney live performance that was probably on PBS or something, but it was like probably in the 90s.
Uh-huh.
And our mom was like, he was doing Hey Jude, I think, or that was probably what it was. And she was like, oh, this is in a lower key because he's old now and he can't hit the higher notes. And then, he'd...
I don't remember.
I don't know if that was true or not, but it sounded pretty good. but she was like criticizing him, and
Really?
then
He was never a Paul McCartney fan for some reason.
it's funny though to just think about that now, and he's fucking 80 and just still
Yeah.
performing.
Yep,
you
yep.
know.
That's funny. I don't remember, but I do remember.
You thought
her.
he was old 30
I
years
remember
ago.
her saying she basically hated Wings. So for some reason, I don't know. You know,
Yeah, not the show. Although
not
she
the show.
probably-
The show she
probably
loved.
ha-
She thought it was
probably hated that too.
no, very hypercritical sometimes. Our mother.
Yeah.
And now, The Police with Mother by Andy Summers.
Let's go with a different. Let's go with a different mother.
The one by Glenathan J. Anzalone. Is that who you're? Or we could go with the one.
I just can't keep away. In the heat and the steam of the city, I's got me running and I just can't break. So say you'll help me, mama, 'cause it's getting so hard.
Getting so hard.
That was the song that he did. They did that live, and they had him on the screen where he looked like the cover from No Jacket Required, I think.
Yeah. Okay,
Anyway.
we went down a whole Genesis
Sorry about that.
rabbit hole there. Anyway, yes, I have a channel called Classic Game Night Fridays.
I'm gonna go get a moose.
Won't you?
While you're talking about that, I'll be right back.
Okay, yeah, go. I wish you could give me one. Send it right through the old Zoom here. Hi everybody. It's just me here now. So I was just kind of sitting up late. A lot of times I'm too tired to do these shows, but just thought I'd step in here. It's been a long time since I was on here. But yeah, what's up with you guys? Got BB, of course, Don Wong. Lots of folks here. It's R.W. Scott, Mad Dog Karate Man. Says, "Oh shit, the bluesy dulcets of Pat." I guess he's talking about me. Yeah, lots of fun stuff here. Most of you guys are subbed over there on Classic Game Night Fridays. We haven't done a lot of Christmas stuff this year yet, but we picked up our game of The Grinch that we started last year, Justin and I. And it's pretty fun. Pretty fun show, pretty smooth. One thing I've noticed, we take our little 3 or 4 week breaks and then we come back and there's I don't know how or why, but shit's just, there's shit that's just broken. So, we have technical issues and stuff doesn't go smoothly. So this was like our third show back last night, and we were both just amazed that it went really smoothly and nothing went wrong. So, but yeah, so, but a lot of that stuff you guys don't even know about. It's all kind of in the background, but yeah, no, there was a few of those. So a few of those fuck ups. I think our first show back, which was November 26th, that we were kind of fighting it because for whatever reason, it's like nothing changes, but things just kind of stop working when you're not using them on a weekly basis. So you
Yeah.
So
It's like vehicles. It's like old cars or cocks,
or your prostate. Yeah.
prostates. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
Peter Lilly says, "I'm a submissive bareback bottom at Classic Game Night Fridays."
Oh. Fat
I like
bottom.
the sound of that.
Fat bottom Peter Lillies that make my rockin' cockin' world go round.
So
Earlier, I was distracted while setting up the show, but when you get on YouTube and it suggests and like starts playing a video, which I fucking love that. Don't you fucking love that?
yeah, because I want nonstop noise, no matter if it's.
I want everything in the goddamn world of, or at least on the internet, to be TikTok.
I don't ever want to have a half a second to think about something. I just want a nonstop barrage of fucking bullshit
I need a video.
in my face and some noise in my ears. That's it's a lot like that. It's a lot like some dystopian books.
Let's not talk about that.
Brave New World, that sort of shit. It's just a constant distraction. 1984.
It's
All
almost like some people who are intelligent might have predicted what's going on.
Yeah. Or, that. And then some people who are evil read those books and said, that sounds like a great idea.
That's probably what happened, which is why we need to burn books.
All books, yes. Well, it's already happening here in the South. So.
That's in Oklahoma for sure.
We joke around about that, but yeah, you make jokes like that, and in 10 years, we may be sitting there going, "Remember when we thought this was funny? Yeah. Now they're fucking doing it." That shit's happening all the time. Okay, so we're not going to go there because we can get everybody all.
I'm at that point and have been for a while officially with people saying that it's like a cliche now to say that we're living in idiocracy.
Yeah.
And now just when people say that, I just feel like, yeah, stop saying it because it's just pissing me off now.
And because you're reaffirming it for me now. Please just
Yeah, don't remind me.
Don't remind me, and don't make it even more true somehow by continuing to burn it in. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So.
BB has a question for you.
Yeah, I see that. It says, "Do I remember the metal band Loudness?" Yes. Yeah, they were pretty big. They had, what was their? Did they cover?
I bet Carl knows about them.
Let me see here. If they had a big song that they were known for.
Was it theme from Pink Panther?
Now this is the one I knew right here, and
that's Henry Mancini. I'm sorry.
I'm not sure if this is the. I don't think this is a cover. For some reason, I thought this was a cover, but I don't think. Maybe this is their original song.
It might be a codpiece. It might not be a cover.
This is the song I remember. When I think of Loudness, I think of this song here. It's a little song called Like Hell.
Sounds like it was ripped off on Doom.
Yeah, probably. You can really tell he's Japanese, right?
Is that Robert Halford?
It's Japanese. It's Japanese Klaus Meine. Japanese Rob Halford and Klaus Meine.
Like hell! Like hell! Like hell!
He's gonna rock.
I don't like this song.
Like heaven.
Like heaven. That's my parody.
Okay, so anyway, to answer your question, BB, yes. Yeah, he said that's off Thunder in the East. That's right. He said, if not, check out their song Crazy Night. Yeah, these guys were amazing. They're great. And I actually, sometime in the 80s, here we are having a chat about, or in the 90s, I used to go and, just look for odd, I just find bands that didn't look like they looked obscure. Like I just look at the bargain bin tapes and shit like that, and I'd find some pretty cool stuff.
Sound Warehouse.
Yeah.
Or Blockbuster music.
Yeah, or just in record shops sometimes, or in like Camelot music, that kind of thing. So and it was kind of a crapshoot. You would sometimes you get something good, sometimes you get some real shit. But
It was like after you ate a bunch of Quaker goddamned oats.
pretty sure I found a loud.
It was a crapshoot.
Me.
Shooting out of you. At 10 cc's, just like semen.
like the poop tube. Shinko poop. So anyway, here we are. Anyway, so I'm pretty sure me and a friend of mine, we would just go to record stores and these actual record bar. We had a record bar here at one point, and we didn't just look in the bargain bin and find some pretty good stuff.
Is that a chain?
Record bar was a chain. It might still be.
Well, there's Kansas City. It's a music venue.
Yeah, no, not that. This was
Have
like
you been to there?
This was just like Camelot music or something like that. I've heard of it. I don't know if I've ever been there. So,
Well, they actually have records, but it's mainly just a bar, restaurant, music venue. But they moved a handful of years ago. But they're still in business, but in a different, not as good location now.
right.
Right.
Right. So, yeah, BB says check out Crazy Night. I don't know if I've heard some of their stuff, and I'm not sure if that way says it.
BB has retracted his testicles.
He did. I didn't see it retracted.
In the chat.
I'm looking at live chat. So
It says massage retracted. He was at a. Speaking of Asians, he was at an Asian massage parlor.
I heard it pretty good. I was listening to a podcast with Kyle Dunnigan, and he was talking about going to a massage place, and he
was it a
wanted
fly on the wall?
Yeah, did you hear that one?
Yes.
Yeah, where he just wanted a massage. He didn't want to get jerked off, and the lady he got down to his junk and just kept knocking on it and asking him if he was hungry.
And he kept saying no, and then finally, like, yeah, go ahead.
He finally just told her, like, he was just like, no, I don't, I'm okay. And she went, oh, girlfriend? And he went, no.
And then she was like,
oh, wife? No. She was like, oh, and then just like didn't say anything else. So she just, like, I guess assumed he was gay. So, and he was fine with that. He was fine with that. He just didn't want to get jerked off. He just wanted a good massage.
Yeah.
And she kept knocking on his penis and saying, "You hungry?"
That's funny because that's he seems like the type of guy that exact scenario would happen to, and that's probably. I think if I went for a massage, that would probably happen to me also.
Not to change the subject here, we're probably done talking about it, but Fly on the Wall, I've been listening to a lot of it lately, and it's great and especially for people like me and Cody who, when we were younger and we were just, I remember, and I mean, it's not like this has ever changed, but like we've always been really interested in Saturday Night Live and how it's made and the writer. Saturday Night Live. The performers, the writers, how it's made and all that shit. It's so much, as they say, inside baseball, and it's great. It's great. It's Dana Carvey, David Spade, and they just go into all the old stories. I've probably listened to, a dozen or so of them.
I've probably heard almost all of them.
Yeah, it's great because I don't know, there's just a lot of great stories, and it just makes you really realize, like, God, it'd be great to have worked there, but it was obviously just a nonstop pressure cooker, like 24 hours. You're just under a lot of pressure there. So, anyway, so, but yeah.
So I think on the most recent one,
Kyle Dunnigan's great because impressions, and he tried out for SNL years ago. Like
and his story about that is pretty interesting.
Very funny.
And it also seems like something that would happen to me if I, hypothetically was in that situation.
Yeah.
The newest one was pretty good.
Which one?
Ed O'Neill.
Okay, I haven't listened to that one.
And it's like...
we were talking about other podcasts on our show.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Ed O'Neill.
But it was like one that they recorded a long time ago, and then I don't know if they purposely held it or it was like a lost episode type thing, but they just released it. But it was pretty interesting just to hear... and Ed O'Neill actually has, like, so fucking often these Mickey Rooney stories come up. Because Dana Carvey was on a...
The Mickey Rooney stories, yes. Well,
Dana Carvey was on, like, a failed sitcom with Mickey Rooney where he played his grandson. But he has, like, all these stories. But there was one that, like, and I don't remember exactly what show it was on, but it was... Norm Macdonald had maybe it was when he was doing Norm, the sitcom.
Okay. Yeah.
But he had like a Mickey Rooney story that was very similar to everybody else's, where he was would just like come up to you and randomly say,
Start telling your story.
But his was like about like these Hollywood actresses from back in the day and how he like put it in their ass and stuff, something like that. And it's Norm telling the story, so it's great.
Yeah.
What was I going to say?
Yeah.
Oh, from the...
I don't know.
So on this recent episode, there was something I was going to talk about. What were you talking about?
Ed O'Neill?
Oh, no, but there was I think Dana Carvey was talking about when he first got hired on the show, and John Lovitz came up, and like Don Pardo was sitting there.
Don Pardo!
And then, so John Lovitz was like, "Hey, Don, Dana's on the show now. Can you just say his name?"
Yeah.
And then Dana Carvey was like, no, Dad, don't make him do that. And then
don't. Yeah.
John Lovitz like made him do it, and then he was like, Dana Carvey. And then he felt like
Dana Carvey!
Official, which it's kind of funny to think about.
Yeah.
In the mid 80s that happened, and that's still a thing now, even though R.I.P. Mr. Carlos Brown.
I was talking with a friend of ours earlier. I was talking about the Bill Hader story about how there was something
Did I tell you about that? Or did you hear that?
I might have heard it from you, but I did hear it on the podcast or on their show, where he's like something got fucked up in a pre-recorded audio piece where Bill done a voiceover. So
Bill Hader would do a lot of the voiceovers for stuff.
Yeah, so they
his voice when he was on there.
The audio was fucked on this, so you have to go up into the booth and do it live during the show. So it was like getting really close or whatever, and it was just like he ran up to the booth and got on the mic and did the voiceover, and he said the video was fucked anyway, but he went ahead and did the voiceover for it.
Yeah.
And then
he said it was a black screen.
Yeah, so and after the video, because it was live TV, and then after he did his voiceover live on the air, he just kind of stepped back and just kind of wiped the sweat off his brow and then sat down in this chair and realized he sat right in Don Pardo's lap. Don Pardo was like 95 years old.
It was like this tiny audio booth.
Get the hell off me! So,
hotel accommodations provided by the Omni.
Hotel accommodations provided by the Omni. 1-800 the Omni.
Omni Berkshire.
Omni Berkshire Hotel in New York City. New York City. Okay. I could do a Don Pardo impression. Yeah. 1-800.
It was funny to hear Dana Carvey do it though, because if I have heard
You're a complete loser.
If I've heard him do an impersonation, it's not very often. So
yeah. So
but like everybody who's been on the show, well, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people do that impersonation.
Yeah. So,
And the thing on Comedy Bang Bang where it's like a running thing. If it's somebody who was ever on SNL, they have to say their name as Don Pardo.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Right.
So Chris in the chat here is saying, yeah, late 70s SNL. Yeah, those first 4 years. So there's obviously been peaks and valleys. And so there's like really good years. And
I've peaked in a few valleys.
peaked in between few valleys. So yeah, and then that era right there, when Odenkirk and we've talked about this a million times.
Odenkirk, O'Brien, other O's.
Michael, all those fuckers. But yeah, like 88 to 91, 92, and then that kind of blended in. Not that the years around those were terrible, but some of them were. But it just kind of seemed to cool off a little bit. But anyway, and most recently, I think the Bill Hader. Fred Armisen. Fred Armisen. Like those years were really good, and that was you're going back. When did those guys leave? Like 2015, 16, something like that. Anyway,
roughly.
Yeah, they were there from like 05, 06, 07 to So anyway, and now it's like it's kind of back to its.
Well, tonight's episode is. I would like to watch it at some point. Do you know who hosted?
Yes, Steve Martin Short. And
yeah.
Short and Martin. Those guys too.
Yeah, so
yeah.
I don't normally watch it, but I kind of want to now because,
Yeah, only murders in the building. Yeah.
Not because of that. But, I never got around to it, but earlier YouTube started playing shit automatically.
Yeah.
I was talking about.
Yeah.
It was the Christmas special from SCTV.
Oh, yeah.
From
like 81, 82, somewhere in there.
80, yeah, probably 82 or something.
One with Boner Bane, Conrad's brother.
I don't know.
Bonner Bane.
I don't know. I watched the beginning of it, but it starts off
Maybe
with
that was the Christmas episode. Go ahead.
The basically the cold open of it, and it just makes you. It made me appreciate, like, this is why I fucking love SCTV, and it's from like 81 or 2.
Yeah, it was those NBC years, right?
Yeah. But it starts off and it's Liberace. It's a Liberace Christmas special, so of course it's Dave Thomas.
Yeah, should I play it?
Yeah, I'll describe what's going on.
Dave Thomas. He's getting whipped.
He's getting whipped by
Join me, Liberace, this Christmas Eve.
He's getting whipped by a very obvious gay man.
Singing a medley of your favorite songs.
A big burly mustachioed bear.
John will be joining us.
And he's obviously enjoying it. And then, Elton John.
Sitting across from him at his piano.
Played by Rick Moranis, of
yes.
course.
You're having a piano off. Liberace furrowing his brow.
You get the gist. We don't have to.
Anyway.
But in a few minutes, Orson Welles comes out, who is, of course, John Candy.
Yeah.
And then it leads into Ted and Edna Boyle.
Tex and Edna Boyle.
Tex, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yes. Tex is also Dave Thomas.
Our parents taught us, Our parents put that in your head. See, our parents were SCTV fans, and that's how we got into it as kids.
Well, as previously mentioned, probably we would watch it as
my parents always remember
children.
It as Ed and Edna Boyle, and then at some point, when I was a little older, I was like, Wait, no, it's Tex and Edna. It's not Ted and Edna. So Elton John just kicked it's Ethel Merman.
Oh yeah, he kicked a ball.
He kicked a studded, sparkly soccer ball across the wall, a room, and hit the wall. It bounced off the wall and hit Liberace and knocked him under his piano thing.
And now Andrea Martin is doing. What's her name?
Ethel Merman.
And she's popping Christmas ornaments off the tree from her singing.
Yes.
Crunchy. I'm sorry, did I say crunchy? I'm sorry, Lee.
No problem.
He was moving. Yes, you. Please, we're trying to work here.
Please don't move while Mr.
Now, if you're going to
Wells.
stay there, fine. If not, get out.
Yeah, he's angry about crew members moving.
When he started going into his Gorton's fish commercial or whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of a parody of.
One or two. Who's directing here? There's too much talking going on. Come on, fellas, get it together. We haven't got all day.
Let's try it again, please.
Good. Are you on?
Just the fact that it starts off with Liberace getting whipped by.
You don't know what I'm up against here.
Just by a gay guy with a Santa hat or something.
Master. Skate.
I mean, the fact that was on NBC.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but this show was on you realize this show was on after.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was
that's how it starts out. It's the NBC symbol, and then it's like they're taking over.
Christmas is a frivolous
time. It was after SNL, and it's like.
So
now it's time for the real subversive.
And that's how a lot of people felt about it too. Like actual there was some actual comedian that was talking about how they would say, you got to tune in after SNL for the real comedy or something like that. Some comedian back in the.
But also, to be fair, it was during the shittiest possible years of SNL. So
terrible cast members like Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
No, it was before that.
What's that guy's name?
Edward Murphy.
Yeah. Fuck that guy. He was terrible. Well, and there was also that one guy with the curly hair. What was his name? Oh boy, big black curly froey hair. White guy.
Joe Piscopo.
I guess they all kind of did back then.
Gilbert Gottfried.
See what I was trying to get you to say. All right. Well, we've.
Well, it was Eddie Murphy and Joe Piscopo were like the good cast members.
Yeah.
That pretty much.
Yeah. Well, that 1980
carried the show.
That really was a bad year. That the first non-Lorne Michaels year was. Yeah. The pre Dick Ebersol.
Mad Dog Karate Man, says Joe Piscopo.
Joe Piscopo! And old Don Pardo, who stuck around through all of it. Was he the only one who was there the entire time?
A lot of people. I mean, Lorne.
Yeah. They're
still there.
What's that? No. I mean, from.
Lorne
left, and then a lot of them came back like in '85 when Lorne came back. But
anyway, Brian Doyle Murray came back, I think, because I think he was a writer in the old days.
A bunch of people, he definitely.
But
was.
that doesn't count because he left and then came back.
Yeah. Yep. I listened to the Fly on the Wall with I'm going blank here, but was the head writer for 10 years. I'm tired. I'm sorry. The guy we called the Grayson Moorhead.
The Grayson Moorhead guy. Yeah, what's his name? Jim.
Jim Downey.
Jim Downey.
Jim Downey. So.
Yeah, that's a very good episode.
Yeah, it was long too, but I think that was like the last one I listened to because I'm kind of just I go down through them and go, oh, that one looks. I want to hear this one, but we'll eventually.
Have you watched the documentary? And I'm not even sure if or where it's currently available to stream, but the one that's about the Dana Carvey show.
Yes, I've seen so somebody has uploaded it in like 10 or 6 minute pieces, and I think I've watched the entire thing in pieces. It's on a playlist on YouTube somewhere. Yeah, and it's actually really good.
It was
Really
on
interesting.
Laugh something dot or Shout. No, I don't think it was Shout.
It's affiliated with them. Yeah.
It was one of those streaming services that I'm not sure if it's still up and running.
Right.
But it was a very good documentary. Mostly Robert Smigel.
Yeah.
A lot of him,
Yeah,
but he's the best person probably to tell the story.
Yeah.
So
Of course, I had to listen to The Fly on the Wall with Smigel. So
a cartoon by Robert Smigel.
My show.
he's talking about that.
Okay.
Talking about that cartoon, the cartoon part of that, where he came back and he was just, that's all he did was the cartoons when he came back, and how he was so delighted that he had the cartoon Lauren getting with a dog running off with him saying the first time that if you listen to that one, he's like the first time that aired,
he like stood there and watched
Lauren's reaction.
and he like had no reaction, I think, something like that.
Anyway, so
or he just like looked away and didn't laugh.
Yeah.
But that would be that'd be a lot of fun to watch something like that you had animated, and then to watch the guy that it's making fun of.
Yeah. Oh boy.
All right, let's make a Pran Funkel.
All right, yeah, let's get down to the calls. I don't know how long I'll stick around, but we'll see here.
BB says ambiguously gay duo. Yes.
Yeah, that's so good.
That originated on the Dana Carvey show.
Yeah,
that we're talking about.
That's
and
why Stephen Colbert was
Stephen Colbert and
was eight. Stephen Colbert and Steve Carell.
Steve Carell. Ever heard of him?
It's Gary, yeah. Ace and Gary.
And I think they mentioned that on a recent Fly on the Wall, how like Steve Carell, well, probably both of them auditioned to be on SNL, and like how
didn't get it.
Yeah, like how Steve Carell was like very nervous and similar to Kyle Dunnigan. And I guess part of the process is they don't want you to freeze up when you're on national television. But
yeah, it just seems like such a high pressure. They talk about, the writers talk about fucking sleeping on floors, and it's just seems like a pretty high pressure job. So let's get.
Sounds like fun though.
Yeah, I mean, it's that whole thing. We've done that before. We've done stuff like that, to a much lesser degree, where
not for a job or anything.
Not for a job, but you stay up like for all night, and sometimes for days. You only get a handful of hours of sleep, and you're working on a creative project. But you keep in mind that you're going to have something when it's all done. There's going to be a big payoff. There's going to be some payoff, and you're going to look at what you did and go, "Wow, this is great." I feel like shit, but I'm so glad that we did this. So.
I mean, for me, listening to their podcast, just hearing David Spade's story, which is not, they try not to talk about themselves too much, but I'm just hearing bits and pieces of his story, and it's like he was hired as a writer, and he kind of didn't know any better, and it was like frowned upon to try to write yourself into a sketch.
Okay.
And like the only reason he ended up being on the show is because he did that.
Okay.
He didn't know that you weren't supposed to.
Okay.
Wrote the
receptionist
and the bye-bye flight attendant thing and like stuff like that.
Yeah, like characters he could do, or he knew exactly how to do them. And
and then like people were pissed off at him because they were like, you don't write yourself into a sketch.
That's funny. Well,
So
there's the whole thing about you
accidentally, like we know who David Spade is.
Yeah. Well, and then he talked about how like the first one of those what was it? That receptionist sketch was came about when he was he was a writer at the show, and he was trying to get in to talk to Patrick Swayze on the show, that the big Chris Farley's big breakout show.
Yeah.
Patrick Swayze's on. So like he was walking in and he just wanted to go talk to Patrick Swayze, and a receptionist stopped him. Or a woman, it wasn't a receptionist. It was like Swayze's assistant or something was sitting there at a little desky thing or at a chair and said, "Oh, I'm sorry. And you are?" And he said, "I'm David Spade. I'm a writer." And he's like, "And this is regarding," and that's how that was born right there. That receptionist thing that was based on him trying to get in, and he was like, "Yeah, like I'm." Oh, and he's just really busy right now. And he said he could see Swayze sitting back there doing nothing. And Swayze had even I think Swayze had even told him, "Yeah, come on by," or something like, "Come by my room" or something. Anyway, a lot of great stories on there. So, but that's how that came about. And then
I remember seeing that sketch probably live when it first appeared.
Yeah, and it was so the other thing about that sketch he said was it was written or he wrote it. He originally tried to get it on the week that David Bowie was on.
Yes, yeah, and the receptionist, right?
Yeah, yes, and Bowie read it and said
he wanted to play the part of the receptionist.
David said, that's not going to work. So he just said, "Okay, bye," and it didn't get done. It didn't go on that week, but it got on a different week with who was it? Paul McCartney or something?
I know Sting was on, or wasn't Sting on?
Yeah, maybe it was Sting. I don't know.
Because I think he hosted and was a musical guest.
Musical guest.
And that was probably the same, or it was the same episode, or I'm mixing it up with the elevator thing where Dana Carvey and whoever else was singing.
It was like Kevin Nealon or something, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Seem to remember Kevin Nealon. Okay, so we're just blabbing on.
Love you a lot, folks.
Yeah, thanks for listening to us blather on about our favorite moments of Fly on the Wall podcast.
Blather? Hey, man. I'm not blathering, man. It's a Ralph's Club card, man.
So I'm looking at your
Now that you're.
I'm looking at the avatar, whatever, the little picture there with all the different
dirty Smurfs.
With all the different forklifts that have been melted or something. Like there's been high heat here of some sort.
I'm standing here burning forklifts with my
the one closest to us that looks like he's part lawnmower and part, I don't know, but the face
part Jeff Fahey.
Yeah. Yeah. The face looks like the right side of his face kind of looks like Data from Star Trek, and then
the right side of my face feels like I'll be naked more often. Lauren Bacall.
And some kind of a demon. It's a demon. It's got two-headed demon, and it's Data and a demon. And I don't know. There's some going on here, man.
There's a lot of Busey shit going on here, and if only you could come up with an acronym, you could get past this.
I don't know about that, Butthorn.
Sounds like you've been censored for TBS.
Sounds like you got a little problem there. Sounds like it might be your worst nightmare, Butthorn.
All right.
We know you look just like Buddy Holly. Oh ho. And you're Mary Tyler Moore.
Gary Busey sings
some hits.
Some Weezer.
All right, let's make a Pran Funkel.
Okay. So I guess I might hang around for a call or two here, depending on how I'm feeling. because
Thank you for calling the VA Tennessee Valley Healthcare System. If you're having a medical or mental health emergency, hang up and dial 911.
Oh, wait,
If
hang
you
on.
are
Let me
having
write
thoughts
this
of
down.
suicide, press 7 now to be connected to the Veterans Crisis Line, or you may hang up and dial 988 and then press 1.
For Mission Act general inquiries regarding eligibility, urgent care, co-payment, insurance, and
Oh, maybe
appeals,
it's just a hospital.
press 6.
The PACT Act is a new law that expands VA health care and benefits for veterans exposed to burn pits and other toxic substances.
Oh, my
For further
pits are
assistance
definitely
regarding
burned.
the
I
PACT
think I
Act and
put too
exposure to
much.
burn pits and other toxic substances, please press 8. VA
Well, I
uses
put-
the terms
I put
low,
too much,
medium, and high
antiperspirant
to
on.
describe COVID-19
This is
community
this is just an
transmission levels in
information line.
I don't like the sound of that robot, so we're gonna move on.
Yeah. Speaking of burn pits, yeah, I do. No, I do have I got some deodorant from the grocery store once because I ran out, so I was like, this smells all right, and that shit is like putting motherfucking Tabasco sauce, or like just rubbing your armpits with jalapenos, like hot fucking habanero. I don't know.
Tabasco rectum.
Yeah, it was fucking nuts. Like I put it on. I'm like, that's a lot, and I was like, shit. Oh, that's kind of, I don't know about, and I kept thinking, okay, I'll just air them out a little bit, and it was burning the fuck out of me. I had to like, yeah.
Did you put both hands over the microphone and waddle around for a few seconds and then just say, shit?
Yeah, I did that. Shit.
Rob Schneider.
I think he was another guy who was just a writer that ended up getting on. So.
Yeah, I think similar story to Mr. Spade. I'm going to call another number here.
Okay.
The 34 guy said Gary Busey once played Richie Havens in a cinema film.
All right. Well, Kira has not joined us yet. Did you notice?
I noticed.
I'm just pointing that out. That's kind of a Dixville notch.
Oh, okay. Thanks everybody for listening tonight. Special episode where I'm here. And if you haven't subscribed to Classic Game Night Fridays, boy, you're missing out.
Ken Boyer. Ken Boyer.
Ken Voyer peeking in your window. Ken Voyer.
Ken Boyer.
Ken Voyer's peeking here. Ken Voyer's watching there.
Ken Boyer is a voyeur. He's been peeking in the windows of Diane Sawyer. I had a whole song that I wrote.
He's gonna need a lawyer.
Yeah. I had a whole song I wrote, and I can never remember it when we're doing the fucking show. But someday, I will.
Ken Boyer was a fan of Vern Troyer.
You know who else was a fan of Vern Troyer?
Let me put my earplugs in. Go ahead.
Austin Powers. I was a fan of that Austin Powers.
Jesus, lady. You have to do a show where...
I was thinking about something earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Like the scale that Garfield stepped on earlier.
Mm-hmm. Earlier. I'm listening.
I was thinking about... what were you talking about? That's probably a sign that I should take it easy.
Backing up, what were we saying? I was saying... I don't know.
Talking about Garfield coming...
Oh, you were talking about stepping on a scale earlier or something. Talking about Ken Boyer and the Voyeurs. Ken Boyer and the Voyeurs. It's his band. and how he was going to need a lawyer, and teacher lady likes.
Oh, okay, yes, okay. Now I remember. So I realized a teacher lady, interesting situation.
Okay.
It's interesting to me because I think there is the whole point of teacher lady and what makes her interesting, at least to me, if I may have an opinion on the subject.
Yeah, we'll allow it. Captain Mark will accept that.
I'll accept that.
I'll accept that. Go ahead.
What's interesting is she has things like, and I was just realizing this earlier, like the scale that Garfield stepped up. Chappelle's show is in fact a teacher lady subject.
Okay.
A teacher lady is who's more of a fan of Chappelle's show than teacher lady? You know, if you know the character, you know what I'm saying.
Yes. I mean, maybe the thing about teacher lady is she's naive enough that she sees one thing that she perceives family friendly, and then she decides the whole thing is cool or funny or good.
Yeah, I think she just sees people
but she doesn't realize
laughing
at
it, and then doesn't realize what it is. I don't think she... I'm just describing... I mean, no one can argue with this because it is teacher lady. It is what she's like. And this is my character, you sons of bitches.
Right.
But yes, I'm a fan of that Chappelle show.
Yeah.
And then there are parts of it that she's like offended by, and then she's like, present company. She's telling them, I'm offended by that. Well, that's going a little too far. But then she still claims to be a fan because she thinks it makes her really cool,
Yeah.
I just saw that. Yeah. And also, you have to factor in it is about 20 years old.
Yeah, it's there.
Season 1 is almost 20 years ago.
Yeah. I'm starting to realize that teacher lady kind of fucking sucks.
Teacher lady is almost like a lady from Oklahoma who's in her somewhere between late 40s and early 80s.
60s, 70s, early 70s.
Somewhere in a kind of a 30-year period.
I think most people, looking
and she is having a 30-year period, by the way.
No, that ended a long time
simply
ago.
Will not end.
I think most people would agree, looking at her level of education, she is the last person who should be teaching anyone anything. But, that's education here.
She's a teacher lady.
So, little something here for...
or as they say, education.
Education. All right.
Education.
The ambiguously gay duo, the ambiguously gay duo. They are taking on evil, come what may. They are fighting all crimes to save the day. They're extremely close in an ambiguous way. They're ambiguously
We're calling the VA Tennessee Valley Health System. If you're having a medical or mental health emergency, hang up and dial 911.
Yes.
If you are having thoughts of suicide, press 7 now to be connected to the Veterans Crisis Line, or you may hang up.
Let's hang up on this. Now that we've gotten off to the proper start, let's call a different number, or as Mike likes to call it, different number.
Different number. We'll just do it live.
There's this thing with Google where you have the number on your screen, you can't highlight it and copy it You have to click on the link and look at all of the unnecessary goddamned information for that business.
Yeah.
And then you can click on the number and copy it to your highly monitored, government officiated, scrutinized until balls were of a larger proportion than Mr. Scott would like for them to be. And then the number's dialed.
Okay.
Thanks for calling Walgreens at the southeast corner of Kirby
Apple
Whitten Road
butter,
and
you
Stage Road. Now, how can I help
cocksucker.
you today?
Apple butter.
All right, payment methods. Our stores take cash, checks, gift cards, debit cards, Visa,
son of a bitch.
Okay, I'm connecting you to someone who can help. Just a reminder, the store's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so you can stop by anytime you like.
Please remain on the line to speak with a member of our staff.
Staff! I'll be there for you. Okay, so they're there 24 hours. If this call
Hello.
goes awry, we all just come up there.
Thank you for
Hello?
calling Walgreens. Thank you for calling
Hello?
Walgreens.
Oh, hi. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Gregory was the one that was insisting that we call for this prescription situation.
It actually
Copy
wasn't.
that. The pharmacy must have accidentally transferred you up to the front. I will transfer you back to the pharmacy. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Are you eating a blow pop? Sounded like it. Are we Cisco in now?
Pharmacy, how may we help you? This is the pharmacy, how may we help?
Hi, ma'am.
Oh.
Gideon had a situation. Gideon?
It was Tuttle
sorry?
Tettleman.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you clearly.
Do you know Tuttle Tettleman?
I'm sorry, who is that?
The gentleman.
I'm sorry?
The tall gentleman with a green tie. His name was Tuttle Tettleman.
And where is that gentleman at?
Well, he was in your store. He was carrying a box that I was supposed to inquire about.
I'm sorry?
It was a box. It had something in it. I think it was a part for a radio. Tuttle Tettleman.
So are you calling from regarding a pharmacy person, or I'm just
not
trying
sure. The man transferred us. Go ahead.
He transferred you to the pharmacy department, so that's why I'm somewhat confused as to what we're trying to. You had something out of
Mr. Andor had a prescription that we were trying to.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought this was about Tuttle Tettleman.
It's.
This is not about Tuttle. I'm sorry. I'll hang up.
Well, no, you don't have to hang up. It's related. Oh, she pressed 1 and then hung up.
Tired of our bullshit.
Let's give her a call back.
Tuttle Tettleman.
Thanks for calling Walgreens at the southeast corner of Kirby Whitten
Apple
Road
butter,
and State.
and
Okay, you're a
Tinseltown
prescriber.
testicles.
Just so you know, the pharmacy will be closing for a meal break at 1:30 a.m. tonight.
Oh,
Now, how can I help?
That's what this is about. Meal break disruption, please. Thank you.
Okay, I'm connecting you to someone who can help.
We're sorry, our staff is answering other calls. Please hold on and we'll be with you shortly. Please remain on the line to speak with a member of our staff.
Our staff is eating a luncheon.
Thank you for calling Walgreens Pharmacy. How may we help you?
Hi, this is David Pines, and I had a conversation with someone earlier. Is this Roberta?
I'm sorry, is this... no, it's not. We don't have a Roberto here. Roberta.
It sounded like that might be your name. I was just guessing. I'm sorry.
But how can we assist you, sir?
Well, my brother had a situation involving I think it was a prescription.
I'm sorry?
My brother was trying to order something.
Okay. What is his name and date of birth?
Oh, go ahead.
Led Betterson.
Hello? Okay. And what is the date of birth, please?
7/31/77.
Did you get the correct spelling on lead?
Okay. What is the last name? I'm sorry, you said...
Betterson.
Spell that, please.
Bedersen.
It's a Saskatchewan name, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Okay, and the date of birth you said was July
you're
the
welcome.
31st? I'm sorry?
Yes. Yes, that's correct. July 31st, 77.
It's a gelatinous monk.
And do you have a prescription at this location, or was it...
It was a location.
a Walgreens? It was located at a Walgreens?
It was a Wallbox, yes.
A Walgreens or Walmart?
It was I believe it was Walgreens. Let me...
And what is your first name, please?
Yaggins.
What? Hello?
I'm here, yes. What is the first name?
It's Led.
I'm sorry, spell the first name, please.
Ledd.
That's a Taurus.
I'm sorry, L-E... we're getting a very bad connection. You said L-E...
L-E-D-T. What are Saskatchewan names?
Don't tell them where we're from originally.
Okay. I'm not showing something with that last name. B as in boy, E-D-E-R, S as in Sam, E-N, correct?
Correct.
100%.
I'm sorry. We got a very poor connection. Do you want...
It was just
Hello? Do you want to try calling us back? I'm not getting a good connection at all.
Yeah, we'll...
We can hear you okay.
All right.
Well, let's go to...
I'm sorry?
Well, I'm going to go to the Arby's payphone. I'm going to try because they got
coffee. Give them a call back.
Okay. All right.
Let's call from there.
We'll walk
Arby's.
over to the
Thank you.
Arby's payphone, hun. We're going to call you back, hun.
Arby's.
All right. Okay. Right.
Arby's. Operation Barbecue. Okay. Should we call him right back or?
I just let him. I don't know how much we're gonna get out of this lady.
Well, it's pretty amusing so far. How long have we been on with this lady?
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you high?
Am I high? No.
Okay.
Had anything that I haven't even had.
That makes one of us not being high.
Yeah,
So
probably.
how long was that? How long was that call?
I mean, it's a good 5 minutes, probably. I don't know.
All right.
So it's up to you. I don't know. I don't know how much more I have to say or can participate.
Do you have any requests for people I should call now? I've got Plexar at my fingertips.
Plexar. That was like a phone system or something? That was like what I remember commercials for that, right? Plexar. It was kind of like AT&T's phone system or something that you could put in your office or some shit. Plexar. I get a feeling we're about to hear a commercial about Plexar.
Actually, no.
Plexar.
There's too many questionable search results.
What do you want?
It's a commercial for something. So yeah, fuck that. It was some AT&T shit where you pressed star and then something else, and we had some kind of junk mail or something that.
Yeah.
A full page print ad with Plexar. You just press a few buttons and.
Yeah, it was. There was something called PBX too.
Oh yeah.
That I think might have been AT&T. All right. We'll just go to the Arby's payphone. Okay.
Yeah, there's all these commercials, but I know none of them are the one I'm talking about. So why?
Too obscure.
You know. They all are. It's very tempting. I know it's a company that used to be around in the 80s, and they're long gone. Why would I think there'd be any trace of any advertisements for them these days?
Well,
why would they want to get rid of any embarrassing things from their past magically through the usage of money?
Yeah.
It's a company called, and it's a company I fucking love. I love them so much. I want to fancy the shit out of them.
We'll go to fancy them.
AT&T.
Well, here's a video on what is PBX.
Okay.
A PBX, or private branch exchange, is
I'm gonna get a moose, and I'll be right back. Let's listen.
All right, here we go. This is what a PBX is, supposedly, if it ever loads. There we go. Let's see. Got one.
A PBX, or private branch exchange, is the part of a private telephone system that manages phone calls both internally and externally for an organization.
An
the
organization
PBX was developed to provide large companies a cost reduction in their telecommunications bill by letting them handle their own telephone system routing, while still providing a telephone line for calling outside the company's network to the Public Switched Telephone Network, or PSTN. A PBX can be located on-premise, in the cloud, or through a hybrid of the two. Generally speaking, cloud-based systems are no longer referred to as a PBX, but as a Unified Communication UC solution, or UC as a Service, UCaaS. From the technology perspective, there are 4 different types of phones or endpoints on a PBX.
You guys getting this? There's going to be
Analog,
a quiz. You need to write
digital, voice over IP, and session-initiated protocol, or SIP. A PBX takes one or more of these languages
SIP,
and
a
translates
giant
it so
drink
that the
that your
PSTN can
fat
understand
girlfriend
and connect calls. To get to the PSTN, a PBX must use either a telecommunications service provider, TSP, or an internet service provider, ISP, such as AT&T, CenturyLink, Sprint, etc. The PBX reduces costs by sharing trunk lines between multiple stations.
Okay, have we heard enough of this bullshit?
Subscribing to 100 trunk lines.
This
for
goes on for
100
another
stations.
17 minutes,
a PBX
folks.
delivers multiple stations for only
Not
one
really.
trunk line. Maintaining and updating an organization's PBX is an important part of keeping an organization connected. The PBX serves as a critical component of an organization's telephone network, so minimizing system downtime is utterly vital, which includes continually keeping the network software up to date. Complex PBX systems often require professional telephony engineers to diagnose and fix problems, which is why many companies choose to form an ongoing maintenance relationship with a specialized PBX service provider.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much for that. So soothing, that music. Oh, now we know what a PBX is. All right. So Cody went to go get a drink. Not sure how much longer I will stay on. But it's been fun hanging out with you guys tonight. And like I said, don't forget to go over and sub to our channel. And make sure you ding the little bell. You select the little bell. Because as I was saying last night on our Class Game Night Fridays, and I've said before, what's the fucking point if you don't want to get all the notifications? I mean, were there people subscribing to channels and then getting annoyed where the channel's just like putting out a video every 15 seconds or something stupid, like just spamming people with notifications? I don't get it. I don't get why.
That annoyed Paul.
I was just saying, I don't get why there are levels of subscription. Shouldn't you want to get all the notifications for whoever you subscribe to?
Oh, is that a new YouTube thing?
No, it's been like this for a while. When you go to sub, if you just subscribe and you don't select...
Are you guys doing a sub?
Yeah. Doing a sub.
So there's options.
You didn't know this?
Do you want to subscribe or do you really want to fucking subscribe?
Yeah. No, if you just hit the subscribe button, you're going to get, I don't know, a percentage of all the notifications or, the shit that gets posted.
Well, I don't cotton to it.
If you want everything, you have to click and, select all notifications, which is fucking stupid, is it not? I mean,
it is.
Because what that says to me is like, at some point somebody was subbing to a channel and then getting pissed off that they were getting too many. There's too many videos in my feed from this thing I just chose to subscribe to. This is bullshit.
I don't agree with it. I don't like it.
Yes. Anyhow, I was just saying.
I don't cotton to it. And by the way, do you know who played Cotton on King of the Hill?
Toby Huss.
Mr.
Tobins.
Mr. Weird Al's father.
Yeah.
Mr. Big Mike.
Okay.
Isn't he?
Big Mike.
On Reno 911.
Oh, is he? Yeah, he was on there. Yes, yeah.
And also
guy with kind of an
Frank Sinatra impersonator, and
speaking of King of the Hill,
National Lampoon's not Christmas, Las Vegas Vacation. Go get yourself some Christmas vacation. Okay.
So that's another SNL connection. Greg Daniels was went on to do King of the Hill, was an SNL writer as well.
I think, yeah, like almost all. Well, did you listen to the Mike Judge episode?
I haven't. I've got that on my list.
Yeah, but just hearing some of the names on that and realizing, oh yeah, those were in the credits of Beavis and Butthead. And some of them also on SNL.
Yep. Well, I think those guys, they might have got hired by SNL because of Mike Judge. Because Mike Judge was submitting the Milton submitted Milton stuff. I mean, that was like 91 or 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
Slightly before Beavis and Butthead became a thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was more, I think it was like 95 or something. I think it was after Beavis and Butthead. But,
No.
But possibly before it was too popular.
Pretty sure the Milton cartoon that got shown on Saturday Night Live was like 1992. It was like a year before Beavis and Butthead.
I'm going to argue with you. If you listen to the podcast, it might
Okay, yeah, maybe they'll shed some light
I
on
think
that.
he was already doing Beavis and Butthead, but he's still
Right. Well, the Milton, you've seen the Milton thing. It's like hand drawn. It's very.
Yeah, but it was I think he tells the
Doing
story,
Beavis and
but
Butthead, he would have done
it was.
He'd had a studio to make a nicer production. Yeah.
No, but I think it was like around the same time.
I mean, it was close, but I think it was just before.
Someone in our Pran Funkels erections department has probably already posted it.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's take a look at the chat.
Yeah. We talk too much.
Well, R.I.P. Luann, and also what's his name?
Who else?
Truck or something.
Who else died?
A certain individual who once spilled coffee on his jeans.
Oh, yes, yeah. Lucky. He played
Lucky. Yeah.
Would you call him Trucky?
Yeah. I was close. I had some of the letters.
Mr. Thomas J.
Patai. All right, so
Patatington.
Let's call back the place that we were calling earlier. And what was the situation?
You just want to talk? I don't. Or the Walgreens and tell them you're calling back from the Arby's payphone. BB says R.I.P. from R.P. Bob from Sesame Street. Yeah, that was a.
Yeah.
He's another one of those guys that was like, shit, he was old. I always thought he was probably around my parents' age, but my parents aren't that old. Your parents are, though. Your parents.
Not quite.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of
yeah, there's been some
a lot of celebrity deaths lately.
All these boomer age people starting to go.
It's funny though, because they're fucking boomers.
Fuck you.
Fuck them. Glad they're dying.
Just that age. No, I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, no. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot erect penis.
That'd be a problem.
I might need some moral support to pick it up. All right, call back the Walgreens. Now, what was our...
You were trying to get a prescription, or I was, and I was just giving him a name, and she didn't have it, so...
What was the thing that we kept saying?
That we were going to call from the Arby's pit. Oh, I was Tuttle Tettleman or something.
Okay.
That was the first call. I said that, but I said my name was Ledbetterson in the second call.
Well, I got the chat.
Led to Betterson. L-E-D-T. Led.
Thanks for calling Walgreens.
Para continuar en español, oprima 9.
You prima nueve.
Now, how can I help you today?
Prima nueve.
Okay, but to get you to the right place, I need you to tell me more about what you'd like to do today. You can say things like, I want to know if my prescription is ready, or I'm calling about a refill.
What's
so how can I help you? I'll just need a little more information.
What's on your mind?
Bernie Taupin, please. Thank you.
Okay, one last thing. Would you like to speak with the pharmacy or the store?
Pure
Whichever. Pharmacy.
Normally I'd connect you with the pharmacy, but they're closed right now for a meal break.
If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911.
They're open again at 2 a.m. tonight. Our nearest 24 hours.
All right. Well, in 13 minutes, we'll give them a call back.
Yeah, I'm going to probably go by 13 minutes, but...
13 seconds.
Yeah. Are you supposed to have somebody join you on here at some point?
I don't know. Kira might.
Okay.
Mike's unavailable tonight, folks.
Yep.
I think it's obvious at this point, but I forgot to mention it earlier. Mike's not on.
Our DJ Doug Pound.
Yeah.
If you ever watch Office Hours.
Well, I've seen Mr. Doug Pound a couple of times in person.
Well, it was really. Did you know that Office Hours Live did a show today? They usually do them on Thursday live, but they did one today.
I did not know that.
I did not know that. Yeah, every impression, by the way, and I've known this for a long time, and I've probably talked about this. When regular, normal douchebags like us do impressions, we're doing
just norms doing impersonations there, eh?
Yeah, you do a good Norm. Everybody else who does impressions of, Johnny Carson and Jay Leno and stuff we're doing impressions of impressions, so they don't sound anything like them.
Yeah.
So, but your Norm Macdonald, I think, is really good. I think people.
It's slowly improving, and I thought I was doing pretty good on our last Pran Funkels.
Yeah, I heard that when you.
By the way, I looked it up and listened to the radio show's version of that, which it was pretty interesting because there's like certain things they couldn't hear because it wasn't loud enough.
Yeah.
And there were some things that I had thought Mike was playing a soundboard, but it turned out it was them playing a soundboard.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
You're getting in on the fun now, huh?
But it's those same guys.
Those same guys. I was noticing too.
Almost 9 years ago.
Yeah. And it's like public radio, so it's not. I don't know.
Yeah, the guy went into the spiel about donations, and Mike kept playing that clip of me going.
Yes. Yeah, that was. And then of course, my favorite part was just you pretty much you've been the whole call's been been behaved. You've behaved the entire call, and then suddenly there's Evel Knievel says, "You motherfucker," and they both died laughing and said, "Yep, just a zinger out of nowhere there." you motherfucker.
So that was a fun, weird thing because I'm just speaking for myself, but I think it's very odd not only that Pran Funkels is still going 8.5 years,
well,
give or take, later, and also those guys are still also doing.
I wonder how long they've been going before that. What I was gonna say though is, do you think because it's public radio that they're not under the FCC thing and they just police themselves? Because I don't know, but back in the day when I think when we used to curse on there, they would just hang up, right?
Well, I think the first appearance, as Wilford, I said, "You motherfucker," and they hung up immediately.
Maybe they just know nobody's listening now, and who knows? I don't know. It was interesting that they and they were even saying some stuff. They were saying shit and stuff like that.
Yeah, when I listened to their show.
Yeah. Off their website. Yeah.
Yeah, they were cursing and playing some soundboard that, once again, I thought was Mike, but it was some lady saying fucking shit.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
But there is a thing called Safe Harbor.
Okay. And what is that exactly?
It's after.
I know what it is, but explain it to.
It's after 10:30 or something. I only know what it is because of Carolla talking about Loveline.
Oh, okay.
And it was after 10:30 or 11.
They don't expect any kids are going to be listening.
Yeah, the FCC is not, and it used to apply to TV and
Really?
radio, I think, but.
So you couldn't just straight up show porn or something, could you?
No, but it was. I think it defaulted to what we now know as basic cable rules, where it was
police yourself, basically.
Yeah, you could show something, but we better not hear a bunch of complaints.
Yep. Better not get a bunch of emails from teacher lady that have audio files in them instead of text.
I saw a picture of a woman's vagina, and it kind of turned me on, and it's because y'all are bad, and it's not cool.
That was exactly what I was going to say. It turned her on, so She's upset about it.
Made me realize why I hate my life and I'm doing this character.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I do teacher lady.
I think we just had a breakthrough. Anyway, so yes, it was a very. It makes me wonder how long they've been doing the show, and maybe someday we should just call them and have an honest and frank conversation with them.
An honest dialogue.
Yep.
And also a Quaker Oats Yule log.
Yeah. A Quaker Oats Yule Brenner log.
Good luck getting that to look like a log and then getting it to stay looking like a log. Because it's not going to be very fucking solid. God damn it. I'm talking about your shit.
Have you been picking up what I've been laying down? Literally and figuratively and literally. Go ahead and do your worst. So anyway, yeah, so it's interesting. Those guys are still doing that. And I was also, did you notice that one of the guys sounds like he might be a little overweight? Not fat shaming here, just saying.
Yes.
One of the guys is breathing like really heavily throughout the thing and not really. It's just like, gosh, I hope. Yeah. I mean, I don't want, but I think notoriously, like, a lot of DJs aren't in really good shape.
Al, what about DJs who are on at 2 to 5 in the morning?
Yeah. Probably worse. So, I don't know. They're probably listening to us and going,
well, that's what I was going to say. They're not listening right now. They
Maybe
might be listening in a month or two, or they might be listening in 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
Or they might be listening in 10 or 13 years from now.
Well, by then the internet won't be a thing anymore, right? Because we will have elected people who told us how much freedom they're about to give us, and then they take it away. So that's what's been happening so far.
Well, I felt blessed with that freedom.
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed the insertion of that freedom.
And as it got deeper and deeper, it felt like it hurt really bad, but it didn't.
The more deeper that freedom got, the more glorious I felt like I should feel. And I'm going to pretend to do so.
Yep. So anyway, not to get all political, folks. Okay.
Did we?
No, we didn't, but
okay.
I think we're kind of making a statement here about the state of things, and just kind of seems like...
well, BB, are you still in the chat?
Getting a little crazy. Okay, I don't think anybody's listening more, so we can go make some calls. And I'm actually...
Good. Finally, can we make a fucking Pran Funkel?
We make a call. Would you guys get the fuck out of here? You don't want anybody to hear this.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, thank heaven.
For? Oh, thank heaven. For?
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven. We don't have any kind of... Do you remember how they... No condoms, no... Because that encourages people to do naughty things.
Yeah.
Safely.
Supposedly, and someone told me this, and then I did check, and I always noticed it was true that 7-Eleven does not sell condoms
or any kind of contraception. Yeah,
they don't have Super Contra.
They would
don't have Contra 3, the Alien Wars,
and they definitely don't have contraception. They would rather that you get a deadly fucking disease and
have a kid.
Mistakenly have a pregnancy.
A kid who's going to want to enjoy, purchasing pork rinds at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
That's the kind of people that 7-Eleven wants around. It's all a conspiracy to get you to go to 7-Eleven at 2:30 in the morning.
Yep. Exactly.
Sometimes Taco Bell. Sometimes you might feel the need to complain, pull back through the drive-thru at Taco Bell and complain about your 7-layer burrito only having 6 layers.
Yeah, there's that.
What kind of person would do that?
I don't know, some kind of fucking monster during Charlize Theron.
That was one of the best.
It was about her and her vendetta against 7-Eleven.
I think it won an award for best makeup not put on.
Yeah. That's
and the award for shit I didn't know you couldn't be fuckable goes to
the most. Yeah. God, that was, yeah, she looked, yeah. Oh boy. You guys ever seen the movie Monster with Christina Ricci? And yeah, it's pretty fucked up. Pretty fucked up.
I mean, I still want to fuck Christina Ricci, but how about that other broad? All right, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, it's a great movie though.
Both of those actresses, I'm a fan of.
Yeah. And what's this? I was talking to Justin, and he suddenly I mentioned Aubrey Plaza, and he started saying something about Wednesday Addams, and I said I don't think she is gonna play Wednesday Addams.
No.
And then but then I Googled that later, and I guess a bunch of dorks on Reddit are going on and on about she'd be the perfect Wednesday Addams because she's such a bitch. You know, and I was saying something to the effect of, she looks really stern, you know, but I bet she's actually not that way at all. She just kind of has that look. She just has that face. So people just assume that she's like, she's real fucking mean.
Are you talking about Aubrey or?
Yes.
Okay.
So anyway.
Yeah,
Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, and I think I was my thing I was talking to Justin about was that in the Garfield movies, I just didn't really buy Jennifer Love Hewitt as Liz, because in the Garfield comics, if you remember, Liz was kind of a bitch to John.
And did not have.
Wasn't like, oh John, I love you so much, and you know, no, she wasn't nice to him. She wasn't, and I was saying Aubrey Plaza would have been a better choice, except she wasn't back then when the blockbuster Garfield movie was made. He wasn't really well known until Funny People. I don't think.
Might not have had large enough tatas.
Oh well. Yeah.
Take a dog in the morning.
Take a dog in the morning.
Hey, you know who had big tatas?
Who's that?
Jennifer Love Hewitt. Take a dog in the morning.
Oh, hubba, 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 ding, ding.
A Lifetime original erect penis. Tonight on Pran Funkels.
Okay. Enough with the AT&T Plexars. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. If you want to call the lady, tell her that you're at the payphone at Arby's.
Was that the right place that I called back last time?
I don't know. It was Walgreens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Walgreens. Oh, yeah. What they said, they're on break. Remember, they're having
until 2, and it's 2:02.
Yep.
Thanks for calling Walgreens.
All right.
Para continuar en español, oprima 9.
Hang on for this call. If you don't
Now,
mind.
how can I help you today?
Pharmacy, Plexar. Flexall 454.
Okay. Sorry, just say refill a prescription, prescription status, get the pharmacy hours, or say help me with something else.
Thanks, 454.
Say or enter the prescription number, including the 5 digits after the dash. If you need some time to find it, just say
Joe
hold on,
Namath.
and I'll wait.
454.
Liniment ointment.
Ointment.
Sure. When you have it, just say, I'm ready to continue.
SpongeBob will do that.
I think Jason Hervey is ready.
Roll!
I'm still here. When you have that prescription number, just say, I'm ready, or press any key.
I am ready.
Oh, they're not going to answer now. They just want a prescription number.
And the award for most condescending voicemail system goes to...
I'm still here. When you have that prescription number, just say, I'm ready, or press any key.
I'm ready.
Great. So what's that number? Or say, I don't have it.
Vladimir left a pudding smear on my nether region.
Looks like I am ready. I am always ready. I have been ready since first call. I am ready.
Okay, I'm connecting you to someone who can help. Just a reminder, the pharmacy's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so you can stop by anytime you like. By the way, they're closed for a meal break every day from 1:30 a.m. to 2 a.m.
Please remain on the line to speak with a member of our staff. We're sorry, our staff is answering other calls. Please hold on and we'll be with you shortly.
All right, Mr. Joplin. Just don't get out of key.
Thank you for calling Walgreens Pharmacy. Please hold.
Okay.
Gordon Groot.
Doesn't it look like I am ready? I am always ready. I have been ready since first call. I am ready. Roll.
You're ready whenever you are.
Doesn't
Never mind the Benningtons. Terribly sorry, I must relieve you of my bowels. I have pressed pound, signifying that British individuals are done speaking with you at this juncture. And don't forget about the guncture. Alright, Patrick?
Yeah, so she said hold on and then just muted and listened. She was just like sitting there listening to see if we'd be fucking around. And
On the,
yeah, because if you notice when she said, Walgreens, please hold, there was no music. So she just muted and was listening to see if we were fucking around like we were earlier. So,
and then she played the...
Yeah, well, you said something, like you said something silly there, I don't remember. And then I played that little clip, and then you started talking, and that was the beep, and then the hang up. Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah. So I'm not to blame for...
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that they were on to us there, and
I didn't mean to jump on you.
No. I don't care. I'm just saying that
I don't want to get defensive here.
They suspected a prank, and so she just picked up the phone and said hold, and then muted and listened. That's what happened there. I'm like 99% sure, because there was no.
She didn't hold on to my super combo.
Yeah.
They're the ones that Ed O'Neill likes to loop her combo.
Yeah.
He kind of loops his dick around it and sees what happens after that. What do you think?
Yeah. Gotta go.
Well, this episode of Pran Funkels shall be forever labeled for the Pran Funkels historian. Make a note. This is the official episode. I forgot what I was going to call it. Patrick, what was I going to call it?
I have no idea.
Oh, we were talking about it earlier.
What episode? What?
This episode. God damn it.
What was that? You wanted to call it something that I was talking about earlier?
Yeah, well, yeah. You and I were talking about it.
Let's see. We talked about a bunch about Saturday Night Live.
Mm-hmm.
And what else?
More recently, we were talking about something.
I don't know. We've talked about a lot tonight, and I'm tired. So you're gonna have to help me out.
Well, it's been fun talking about it.
Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Yep.
Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live.
So, they were talking about that, and Dana Carvey was doing that impersonation, and then I think David Spade was talking about, because he often talks about how, disrespected he was in situations.
Yeah.
But,
yes. Continue.
Dana Carvey, where they were like, they sort of, fell into that thing where they're both doing Don Pardo, and then Dana Carvey was, that subject came up. Possibly when they were talking about the story I said earlier with John Lovitz and all that.
Yeah.
But But
are you going to be able to finish the show if I leave?
Yeah, I think so. I'm just trying to remember the rest of this joke that I'm talking about.
Okay.
Do you know where it's going?
No. You're talking about, Don Pardo? Is that something to do with Don Pardo?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. What's the joke? I don't know. I was going to mention something else about that I've noticed about the shows.
Yeah, what is that?
Every time Al Franken's name comes up, one or both of them make a noise. Like literally every time Al Franken is mentioned, one or both, whoever's not talking at the time goes.
Yeah.
Whichever one between David and Dana.
Yeah.
Everyone's not talking goes, and sometimes they both do it if somebody else is talking. They'll both.
Have you heard the Sarah Silverman episode?
No. I need to check that out.
There's an Al Franken related story that I'd love to tell you, but
she was on there briefly as a featured, right?
Well, she was a writer,
right?
Yeah, / featured.
Like 1 year, I think, or something,
right? But I can't. I don't want to spoil it, I guess.
Okay. But, yeah, I can check
I'd like to tell you the story.
I mean, if you want, you can, or we can just.
It's the kind of story that I heard, and I was like, I want to watch someone react to hearing this story.
Okay.
And it's not that fucking crazy, but it's just one of those Sarah
I mean, all their
Silverman.
podcast. These are all on YouTube. I could just pull it up right now. We could just listen to it on the show.
If you could pinpoint the exact moment when she starts telling the story, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the Sarah Silverman, Al Franken story.
every time, like I noticed that.
Yeah.
I laugh now every time I hear it because.
But it's like when we would talk about, some character from some show or Norm.
We know, Moja. I mean,
Or when we'd talk about Norm, and I would go,
like he's like a bug or something. He's like a fly, just bug.
Fly on the wall there is a podcast.
All right. So that about does it for me, I think.
Do you have the clip we were talking about?
The Sarah Silverman clip?
Yes.
No, I have no idea what the story is. I could have the entire show. I don't know. There, sometimes they put little clips though. If you want me to look and see if there's a Sarah Silverman clip that's usually those are 4 or 5 minutes long. This is not really something we could do on the show. And two, I would hate for them to think we were infringing upon copyrights.
That's the first. Last thing on my mind.
Yeah. Let's see.
Well, I hope Kira is coming along soon.
Well, okay. Here's something that probably just gives away the story here. So there are some. So here's full episode. Okay. So yeah, there's like a little short bit. So.
I'd rather have a full episode in front of me than to have a fallopian tube behind me.
So the Sarah Silverman, the clip here, and it may be the story you're talking about. It says Sarah Silverman accidentally stabbed Al Franken. Is that it?
Yes. Okay.
You want me to play that clip? It's only a minute long.
Have you heard the story?
No.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't think so.
It's a fun story.
Did you stab Franken for some reason?
I did accidentally.
I just read that.
Stabbed Al Franken?
Okay, so I always, for some reason, sat next to him at table at Punch Up. And they had these really sharp pencils and a big thing.
Yeah.
And I was like leaning back and like I had my pencils all sharp. And he had like a really big like fro, big Jewish hair. And I remember just like my brain was drifting and I just thought like, I could like stab this pencil through his hair. Mm-hmm. But what people saw was I just turned and stabbed him and I hit his temple. And it looked insane. It looked like I just stabbed him in the temple. And I remember him just going like, why?
That's it. That's the little clip that's there.
Yeah, he just said, why? Why?
Why? Why would you stab me?
In the head. That's fine.
Yeah, just hearing that description makes me think about ex-girlfriends I might have had.
Yeah.
Don't ask me to identify them.
Okay. Yep.
Pran Funkels.
That's another one. I always felt like Sarah Silverman could, we were talking about Aubrey Plaza. I always felt like she could probably be a real terrible bitch, and I'm sure she still could be, but you hear a lot about how she's really nice. So maybe I'm wrong. All right. With that said, whoops, my microphone.
Pendleton has been initiated, and the result is concrete flavored s'mores.
Could you want to do one more call before I go?
Yeah, should we call back?
One more call before I go.
You want to call
You want to do one more?
I'm trying to do Al Franken, but it's not working out too well. It's weird because we when we were kids, our parents watched SCTV and SNL, and I remember seeing Al Franken on episodes back then, and so he's one of those people, kind of like a lot of those old SNL people that kind of seem like an uncle to me or something when I see.
It's funny to listen to that kind of thing now because, like, you think of him like he very rarely appeared on the show.
Yeah.
Stuart Smalley and stuff, but
before that, like in the late 70s, he was like Franken and Davis would appear on there.
But also, like, something I had completely forgotten about, he did like Pat Robertson or something. Right? He did some televangelist in the mid 80s, and I was
Pat Buchanan.
It's one of those, like, grinning assholes.
One of those grinning assholes, yeah.
But, like, as soon as they talked about it, I was like, oh yeah, I fucking
brought back a memory.
I can picture that, and I had no idea it was him at the time because I didn't, didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
It's not Jim Bakker.
Maybe it was Jim Bakker, because I could see him playing Jim Bakker, but I don't know.
Just one of those grinning televangelists. Because, he was talking to Dana Carvey about the church lady and stuff.
Yeah. Let's see if I can figure out who that was. Like I said, I could totally see him playing. Here's one that
Jim,
is on YouTube.
Well, the Jim Bakker
prostate report. the thumbnail is he's doing his finger into his, his other hand. Like, let's see. Anyway.
All right.
I don't see it here anywhere. I don't see him playing. I do remember that the Baghdad report he did, where he was out in the middle of a desert with the helmet on, with some kind of a like a satellite dish on top of it. I remember thinking that was pretty funny when I was a kid.
Yeah, it was a mid 80s type of thing.
Yeah. It says February 13th, 88. So.
Are you looking at it right now?
I'm just looking at the thumbnails. I'm not going to play anything, but I'm looking for him playing like Jim Bakker or somebody, and I'm not finding anything. So,
Mom's remaining.
Yeah, the only character I see him playing is Daily Affirmation.
So there was a story.
Uplink. Go ahead.
There was a story about Dave Attell, which is one of the other fun things about listening to that podcast. You might hear a story about a joke, because Patrick and I would watch SNL and see Dave Attell's name in the credits.
Yeah, he was a writer in the 90s. Early 90s.
But one of those stories that got told recently was like shit, what were we talking about?
Dave Attell and a story? Well, you're really high, aren't you?
And before that, what we were talking about reminded me of it.
We were talking about Al Franken. I don't know. And then you were talking about Dave Attell. We were talking about... You just mentioned Dave Attell, and I said, yeah, he was a writer. I was talking about... I don't know. Like, you got to hold a thought for more than 38 seconds.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, apology accepted.
I'm just going to take a drink.
Yes, drink, take a drink. Think, take a drink. Oh, this usually works.
You're so, yeah.
What was that other show that you play the video games on?
It's called Classic Game Night Fridays. And you can go over there and subscribe, and it'll be it's a fun time. You know how many shows we've done? We've been on for, this in February it'll be our third year doing it. Starting our third year doing it. We just did our 80th episode, which is fucking crazy because it doesn't seem like we've been on that long. But, 80 episodes. Classic Game Night Fridays. We've done now.
Time flies.
Time flies for sure.
Tempest Fugit.
So, anyway, SNL. It's been a show where we've talked about SNL. Let's. Don says, "Wow, 3 years." Well, not 3 years, but we're starting our third year, so two years basically.
Not counting the Scientology promotion.
What's that?
Not counting the Scientology promotion that went on for.
Yeah, well, there was that.
17 months.
Yeah. Every night we played the L. Ron Hubbard video game. The L. Ron Hubbard.
Pick up a Cheeto off the sidewalk in front of beachlers.
And then make sure you have the correct placement of the helmets on top of the plastic NFL helmets, top of your Lloyd speaker.
And hope you didn't put too many 8-tracks into
Lloyd's.
Mr.
Okay.
Dimplemeyer's fuck around 8-track cassette player.
Yeah, there's that.
Okay.
Definitely. Okay. Don Wong wants us to play Hangman. Maybe he's saying on Classic Game Night Fridays. We could do that, or is that a typo? And you wanted us to play Hagman, as in Larry Hagman's the video game based on.
When you come into my Hagman,
the video game. The video game based on the life of Larry Hagman, his career. Uno, does Uno have a video game? Yeah, we could do that. There probably is one that exists. Okay. Let's I guess I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I've got this. I've actually got a new soundboard. I need some cables to hook it up.
You need a man to put the cables down.
Don Wong wants us to play.
Oh no, Wild Tiles.
Mr. Donathan Wongathan.
He said Uno. I think he's just naming off the cards, but remember, was that like a weird Christmas gift or something we got, and it was Uno Wild Tiles, and you went around saying
Uno Wild Tiles
for a long time.
Yeah.
Wild Tiles.
Just doing this weird voice.
Yeah, I did that. I mean, Mojo.
No! That was some other person that went around saying that.
I didn't do that.
I've never done anything
embarrassing
in my life. I didn't do anything weird.
Well, there was that one embarrassing thing I did.
I
wouldn't admit to doing anything embarrassing, but other than that,
Moja.
Never did nothing embarrassing.
Excuse me, Moja. We have this recording of you saying "Mama Mia." Yes, and it's going on your permanent record. You piece of shit. You know what you did.
Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia.
And how old were you when you said this "Mamma Mia"? What were you? I think it sounds like you were about 38. Am I right?
It was about 5 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. He was. Didn't we try to explain to him, like, yeah, you were obviously a little kid. Little kids make weird recordings. There's no reason to be.
Yeah. Like we could tell it was him.
It was definitely him.
And then we like played it for him. His younger brother gave us this cassette.
Yeah. Making fart noises and saying "Mamma Mia."
And he refused to acknowledge that it was him.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's kind of like with Chris Hansen.
Yep. I'm Chris Hansen, and I'm with a show called Dateline NBC to catch a predator. I'm Keith Morrison, and I hear something was a little strange. Have you heard this?
I'm Peter Thomas.
I'm Peter Thomas.
And I'm the host of Forensic Files.
Forensic Files. The amount of blood on Janet's dress was equal or greater than a large ecto-cooler from High C.
Of
a quart.
Onion rings at the Sonic.
Onion rings. Too bad he's not still around, Peter Thomas. What about Bill Curtis? That sounded like George Takei. Bill Curtis. I can't do that. Yeah, I can't really do it.
What does he do?
Bill Curtis. He took over Forensic Files when Peter Thomas quit or died. And Bill Curtis also did another Cold Case Files. Bill Curtis.
Cold Case Files.
Cold Case File. I can't. He just has this. Bill Curtis just has this really specific. It's a very announcery, voice. And he was on WGN TV in Chicago back in the 80s when I believe so, right?
When the takeover happened.
I think so. Yeah, the famous Max Headroom thing. Let's see. Bill Curtis with a K. Kurtis. This is kind of like those guys' radio show, isn't it? We're not doing what we're supposed to do. They're supposed to be playing music, and they fart around and talk about what they had.
Well, I was thinking it could become a regular segment on the show where we just call them.
American Justice is another one Bill Curtis did.
When you come into my justice.
So he does a lot of shit like that, Let's let me just play a little bit and see if we can get a little bit of Bill Curtis. This is season 6. This might be recent too. I don't know when this shit was made. It says a year ago. If it's still Bill Curtis, let's see.
December 20th,
Yep.
1980. Newport, Rhode Island.
1980.
The 49-year-old heir to a natural gas fortune, Martha von Bülow, known as Sonny, could not navigate the
Bill Curtis. Yeah, when I do it, I just sound like George Takei, but that's...
Her seaside mansion, Clarendon Court. Her son, 21-year-old Alexander von Auersperg, scooped...
Anyway.
Bill Curtis is probably not human.
He's very robotic sounding, isn't he? He's just got one of those. He's got one of those George Lowe voices that it's so perfect you can't really emulate it.
George Lowe.
George Lowe. Space Ghost, coast to coast. All right, so I gotta sign off. Bill Curtis is still. BB says Bill Curtis still has my Billy Ocean 8-track tape. Caribbean Queen. Now we're in the same drone. Sharing the same drum.
My love with the runs. It's too hard to wipe up afterwards.
All right.
Caribbean diarrhea.
Caribbean runs. Okay, the poop jokes are out. That means it's time for me to go.
The video games are off.
Those video games are off, you guys. You're just wasting your time over there.
What you do, plug back in the Street Fighter 2000 and... Oh, wait a minute.
But when they entered the convenience store, they realized the games. Something strange had happened.
A Geo Metro seemed to have been preventing power supply
A Geo Metro?
to be connecting
It's one of those,
to the Capcom arcade
Keith
game.
Morrison's one of those, if you're thinking about it, you can't do it. You just have to really get close to the microphone and just kind of talk like this.
All right, let's make a Pran Funkel.
Okay, you make that Pran Funkel and I'm going to sign off.
Make that call now.
Make that call now. Night, everybody.
Love you a lot.
Love you a lot. See ya. Bye.
Baconators. Okay, folks. What you are about to witness is something that has never before been impressed upon. Okay. Let's see. Place doesn't have a phone number. Okay, hang on a second here.
Thank you for calling Soap Opera Laundry. We are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Please stay on the line for further assistance.
Mortal Bob's.
Laundromat.
Hi, I have a bit of a situation. I hope you can help me out.
What's up?
Well, we have a Grievousson situation.
You have a what? I'm sorry.
It's a Grievouson's situation.
What's that?
Well, Donnell Plumbing Company was the one that covered us last time.
Okay. What's your question for me?
We were trying to get it to boot up, and it wouldn't work.
Okay.
It was $2 worth of Derringers.
What's up?
$2 worth of Derringers.
$8 worth of Dillingers? Is that what you said?
$2.
$2. Well, what's your question?
Oh, how many trudgers are we getting into here?
Chargers?
Did you reset your system?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Can you please reset your system?
I'm not able to. I'm not the one that's in charge of that.
It's kind of a Bennington establishment.
Yeah, the boss will have to do that. Yeah, you'll have to contact him Monday.
Garfield likes lasagna.
Say what?
Garfield.
No, this is not Garfield. This is Cleveland.
This is Garfield. Don't argue with me. Okay. Well. Pran Funkels. We'll be right back.
Pran Funkels.
Live. All right. Well, let's take a look at the chat. Well, looks like Wild and Crazy Cats is there. And classic Game Night Fridays. And a certain individual, Takaho Demboski. Bliarg. Alright, let's make a Pran Funkel. Finally, Patrick left, and we can properly do a Pran Funkel. Sigh of relief. Let's give this a try.
Looking like a man, sounding like a no-no. Making when I can. Whistling in the darkness.
Hello.
Shining in the light.
You there, dog?
Coming to conclusion.
Okay.
Right is night.
KOPN, you might be on the air.
Walking
What is this?
in the rain.
This is great. I hadn't
This is
heard
KOPN.
this song
This is
before. KOPN Columbia.
Did you comb your hair?
Are you doing all right?
I hope you're doing all right. I'm not feeling too good myself.
No? What's got you feeling that way?
Well, Mr.
Did you eat a pit?
Joe Peniser.
Did you say Jew penis, sir? Did you eat a pigeon yesterday?
Joseph Peniser.
Joseph? Is that your name?
Joe Cocker.
Joe Cocker. All right, I know. Yeah, I know Joe.
Explain the
I know
joke.
Joe. Yeah, we love Joe. We love Joe. Mama told me not to go. I know that's not Joe. That's not Joe Cocker. Do you want to hear some Joe Cocker? Is that the deal?
Who am I speaking to?
This is my name's Kyle. Sadly I'm in charge right now, and I'm Cora. Please, what up, dog?
Kyle is sadly in charge of me as well.
Hey, what up, dog? All right, cool. Are you upright?
It's a Grievouson's Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
I'm bad at that game, but it's cool as hell. Walking in the Rain. That was cool. That was a really cool song. Yeah, Walking in the Rain was dope. One hit.
It's
Genesis. I don't think I heard that song before. It was a double hit wonder because Grace Jones covered it in night clubbing.
Philip J. Collins.
Jay Collins? right? Judy Collins.
Judy Collins. Judy Garland.
Judy Collins is in my professional world the queen of the free box.
I know. I have one of her
if you
records.
know what I'm saying.
She did one of those it was a Leonard Cohen song. And I actually have that record. It's a good one.
Sometimes she likes to rub elbows with Joan Baez in the free box.
Oh, come on. I love Joan. I love Joan.
I'm not saying I don't love her. The question remains, will people trade federal currency?
This is Oklahoma City weather now.
About $1 or $2.
The time and temperature weekly word.
Yeah, it might be coins. It might be coins. I got a couple pennies in my pocket. I can make
you
it
gonna
work.
throw down some coins?
Yeah, I'm gonna make them spin.
Exalts a nation, but
Remember when I bought that? I bought a
many
Wall-Tone single for like $2. And
For
it,
the
like,
word
actually
of God
fit the shows.
living and
I played it
active and
that
sharper
night.
than any two-edged sword.
Like it was like you
piercing
had a
even
sale.
to
Like
the
and I was like,
dividing
oh, the Wall-Tone.
of soul
You were like,
and spirit,
yeah.
of both joint
I think it
and
was Taylor.
marrow,
Taylor was like
and is
$1.
able to discern
I was like, I'll
the
give you
thoughts and
2.
intentions of
And he's
the
like,
heart.
I don't care.
Sold.
Yeah,
Double
it was like,
sold.
Easy.
Let me find some other garbage for you to take home.
Yeah.
Have you heard about the Fimples?
Empire? Like the show?
There was a Fimple situation. Y'all heard about that?
Heard about the what situation?
It's a Fimple.
I don't know what you're saying quite exactly.
That's kind of a griefisms.
Can you like say it in Morse code?
Yeah, I only like codes that Morris the cat is participating in.
Say it again.
Do you like Morrissey from the Smiths?
Morrissey the cat.
I don't like Morrissey.
That's exactly what he sounds like too. The guy will. I don't know if you saw this, but recently in Greece, he walked off the stage. He walked off the stage because he was feeling a little bit too chilly.
A little too chilly.
Yeah, no, seriously.
I
in
never
Greece.
had a job because I never wanted one.
I've never had sex with a woman because I've never wanted to. Normal stuff.
These sound like facts.
Exactly.
Here we go. Watch this.
Welcome to Mystery Science. What is it? What was the name of the show? Sushi? Welcome to Cow Tongue Sushi. We're gay in a way.
Well, I don't cotton to that.
Hey, you're gone.
When you go into my Gonago, you're gonna get
You just
friendly
had this
people.
on hand?
I did.
Did you just change the pitch?
Yeah.
Now those are some 90s chords.
I want to elaborate to the listeners
Give or
right
take
now.
a decade.
I want to elaborate to the listeners that this copy is perfectly straight and not warped at all. It's just Kyle just took the pitch and put it all the way up, like 20%.
I don't know.
I want to hear Morrissey say.
I don't like it this way.
Morrissey.
Yeah, it's okay. Ooh, yeah, sing it.
I'm Morrissey.
What's your name? Do we get your name? Oh, remix. I want to say that we are actually playing a record of the Smiths right now.
And Morrissey is sad.
Oh, I don't want to stay.
Hey, Carl's Jr. star there, eh? Hardy's.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Hey, Hardy's star there, eh?
I feel bad for you if you thought this was like a serious show, because this is not serious. We're just kind of.
If Tony was here, he would really, right now at this moment, he would talk about how bad of a show this is.
Weren't we gonna call Tony?
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out.
I can do it really quick if you want me to.
Hold on.
That's a Gladstone
Humana.
situation.
Conference.
You like Johnny Bravo? So what, you have one on right now?
One 18162. Love you a lot. Oatmeal. Okay. That was interesting. Well, thanks for listening to Pran Funkels.